this episode, we are going to talk about Bigfoot footprints. Now, everybody knows that. Now, everybody goes out hoping to actually find a footprint. The only problem that I have with footprints is that if you don't actually have the video of the creature making them while they happened, it's kind of hard to confirm of what actually the footprint is from. Now, most people, I would say, don't know how to tell the difference between like a juvenile Bigfoot print and a human footprint. That creates problems and issues. And if you do happen to know the subtle differences and have the potential to do a cast, is it castable? Is it worth the effort, even though it's human-sized in a sense? The big problem I have is so many are faked these days. And the fakers now have more info on the people that claim that they have real ones, of why they're real opposed to the fake ones. So now the fakers are actually putting that into their fakes to make sure that that can't be one of the reasons anymore. So the fakers have gotten a lot better. And we have to understand that if you can't tell what it is, and it has special features or different features in each footprint, if you could find multiples or a trackway or something like that, you have to be wary that the fakers are getting good. Good enough to where it's definitely making everything questionable that you find from now on of whether it's a real footprint or not by a real Bigfoot, or is it by a fake Bigfoot print that someone's trying to pull over on you because they know what you're looking for now. So it is an issue. It's a problem. And that's my problem with it, is that I don't find it to be that valuable of evidence anymore. Yes, if you want to take a photo of it, if you want to take a cast, if you want to measure it out and make sure you know the widths and stuff and see what's going on, feel free. I'm not going to suggest not doing that anymore. Any information is better than no information. And if it later you can figure out that it's faked, or if it's, still looking good or real, that's good too. So I'm not discouraging not looking into footprints. I'm just saying it's a very wary subject it's very unpredictable of trying to find good ones. My theory with all of that is, instead of footprints, I go after fingerprints. And there's multiple ways I do this. One way that I prefer is, like I said, you want to draw them into your campsites when you're, out in the woods, and especially at night. You want to draw them to you. One of the ways that I found to do this is actually with these CDs. Most CDs are very, very reflective. And especially in low light conditions, like at night when it's dark out and there's a little moonlight and stuff, nail one of these up to a tree and you could still see that thing a quarter mile away. Very, very visible. So if you want to make a little path of these leading up to your campsite from some of the wood locations, I think this might actually be a pretty ingenious way of attracting attention, you might say. All right, now how does this apply with fingerprints? Obviously, this is going to be a big curiosity item. If anyone knows about their hands and their fingers, they're very, very greasy. And any type of smudge print, is going to be very noticeable. So obviously you want to clean these before placing them up in a tree, or I actually put one or two in my gifting basket to see if anyone rumbles through it and touches it and now all of a sudden has their fingerprints on it. I can know that. And there's various different fingerprint kits and stuff that you can buy online to actually pull prints off of things. Another thing that actually gets decent fingerprints is different forms of tape. Now, the adhesive that's used on the back, like Scotch tapes and stuff like that, are very good at pulling off fingerprints, and it'll actually pull off a lot of the dirt or or oils that's around your finger and actually will leave a decent fingerprint. That alone could be evidence and don't need to transfer it over on another piece of, actual fingerprint tape. Just use regular tape and then just make sure it's clear back. Then you can just tape it onto a piece of cardboard and now you have a, permanent version of a fingerprint. So you have to take that in effect that I don't think fingerprints are as faked as footprints. Not saying you can't fake a fingerprint. I'm just saying that the likelihood is a lot less that someone's going to go around trying to touch things with their own fingerprints when that's the whole point of getting Bigfoot fingerprints, is that they're unknown. And if you take it somewhere that someone can run fingerprints or, are able to look into that and seeing whether it's a human fingerprint just to begin with, because there's ways to detect that, I think that's the better way to go. That if you could find a large thumbprint of a Sasquatch, it's going to be different than a large thumbprint of a human. And you will be able to see and be able to study those changes and differences. And I think that's going to acquire to be better evidence than a straight up footprint. Because if those do have dermal ridges and some type of skin things, that tends to boost their credibility up a hair. But now knowing that, then people are trying to carve them into their fake footprints and stuff, and it's a big mess. But it's a lot harder to, I think, fake a fingerprint, or at least a Bigfoot fingerprint. So that's what I like to use instead. Feel free to still go out and try and cast your Bigfoot footprints and see if you can't get a hold of some decent fingerprints. If you don't know how to pull a print off of something, ask around, see if someone else does, or try and get, like I said, one of those fingerprint kits and try at least yourself to salvage that evidence. Take photos, take what you can, some measurements, and some photos of the measurements to try and understand, is this in human capabilities of doing? Is this a human thumbprint or a fingerprint? What kind of size is it? You have to get these things down. But I think if you study that aspect, it's more credible evidence than Bigfoot footprints right now. So let me know what you think below, and let me know if this helps you out in your investigations at all, and see whether or not you have any better evidence. And that's my views on footprints or fingerprints. So I hope you take these views and explanations out on your next hunt. Please leave a comment if these videos have helped you get more or better evidence. Please watch my other videos, and I thank you for your time. Good luck.